this is going to be a collective reading. So I will take what applies, leave what doesn't. You don't like what you hear, go somewhere else. Like, this channel is not for the faint of heart. Not usually. Dragon's blood is coming to mind. I don't know. House of Dragons. I don't really get into that stuff. What's coming to mind? Queens, motherhood, pregnancy. Somebody could be pregnant. Okay, let's see what the cards hold. Ooh, love. For 3 of water, or 3 of cups in the reverse. So, and she has restraints around her arm. So I always take that as resistance. Love. Resistance and love? Choices, discernment between our path, our true path. Sow your seeds. Okay, so somebody can't decide what they want. This was in the reverse. Destiny was in the reverse. So let's keep it in the reverse for now. Love doesn't always mean romantic love. It could mean familial love. It could mean self-love. Resistance. Fixating. So I sense somebody fixating on either a person or a thing that is keeping them distracted. Okay? Keeping you from your true power, keeping you from focusing on self-development, self-growth. And how do you achieve that? Is by self-love. Okay? So that's causing a blockage for you. And you have to discern whether or not you want to continue down that path or if you want to rise from it. Is you've done a lot of work already. You've done a lot of work, but you can't receive your gifts from... Kali's calling. You can receive your gifts from the divine or what you are meant to have from your true path. Even though you've done all the work, if there's something you're resisting. So this card comes up when we need to reevaluate our beliefs, our biases, our belief systems, what our preferences are. Our belief systems sometimes hinder us from looking for what's meant for us. And since we're talking about love, I'll use a relationship example, but take what applies. This might not be a romantic relationship at all. But, say you're meant to be someone with... Let's say your divine counterpart is somebody of a different ethnicity, of a different culture, even say of the same gender, and that's something that you've never even considered because of your own personal dogma. Okay? So you yourself are keeping you from your own destiny because you won't see past outdated beliefs. Okay? You've put a lot of work into play. You've done a lot of work. So don't Don't squander that by fixating on someone else rather than yourself. Okay, if that person's meant to be for you, if that situation's meant to be for you, when you start aligning with your true path, that person, whatever, will naturally align to your path, or they won't, and that's when you'll know. This is the Kali Oracle card that came out. Kamala Devi. Held within Kali's protection, your heart radiates peace, certainty, and beauty. Her grace melts frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment, and overactivity into effortlessness, attraction. Kamala is the golden pathway of divine protection and peaceful contentment. She empowers your heart to receive with the same generosity, openness, and grace that you express when you give. You are swiftly approaching sacred fruition. Okay, yeah, so you've put in so much work. You are so close. And this doesn't, if it is a romantic relationship, this might not even be like a person you have to physically let go, but of the idea, of the mental, of the infatuation, of the fixating, of the ruminating thoughts. You just have to trust and believe and hold on and visualize what it is you actually truly want. And it should come to you because you're doing all the work. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. You just have to focus on yourself. Stop focusing on all the work you're doing leading to the outcome of getting you to be with this person or in this environment. If it's meant for you, it will align to you or you will align with it. What you have to focus on is the love for yourself. I try to end every video I make with thank you for loving yourself as you wish others loved you, okay? Because when you start embodying that, when you start projecting that outwards, it'll get projected back towards you. Be open to healing information, okay? So ruminating thoughts, hyperfixations, you can't let things go. You're stuck in the same ruminating thoughts and the same patterns over and over again. You're stuck, okay? It's probably a physical stuck blockage somewhere. Sometimes acupuncture isn't as expensive as they make it seem. If you find the right person, sometimes they have payment plans. If they're medically licensed, they may even be covered by your insurance, but you might need to go through the right resources for that. Cymatic therapy, sound therapy, look into sound therapies, sacred geometry meditations. So when people meditate, a lot of people are scared about meditating. They're worried that it's, they can't do it. And a lot of people think of meditation as explicitly mindful awareness practices, and those are training you to quiet your mind and be mindful and focus on each individual thought with intent, which is the ultimate goal. But there's other meditations, and if your nervous system needs some serious healing, it's going to be increasingly difficult to perform those types of meditation, those mindfulness meditations. So I recommend looking for guided meditations, and eventually towards the end they do lead into a moment of silence, but you only have to be in there as long as you want. But if you don't train your brain to do other practices and other meditations first, you'll never get the stamina, you'll never build up the ability to actually get to those types of mindfulness. Shift your perceptions into what you think meditation is. When you're in the zone, if you're a creative and you're a writer or some sort of artist, or a dancer, or musician, when you're in the zone, that's meditating. That's a form of channeling. That's a form of tapping into the divine, into the collective consciousness. Okay? And maybe you'll remember something that you knew from a past life. Not like a specific memory of something that happened in your past life, but an information that will benefit your life today in this lifetime, an information that was acquired from a past life. Okay, so shift your perception on notions, on past notions, outdated beliefs, what you're biased against and biased towards. Be devoted and committed. Don't give up. Stand your ground. Don't give up. You're doing so well. It's so difficult, and this is what we came here for. This is what we're reincarnated into Earth for, is to have these challenges and learn from them, and learn to alchemize our emotions and our energies and heal, so that we can raise the frequency vibration of the collective, so that the collective can rise together. And at the end of the day, once we evolve far enough into the future, we will just live in synchronicities. And once we've lived in synchronicities for so long, it'll actually become, this is way, way into the future, it'll actually become far more difficult to make detrimental choices. Okay? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Stand your ground. Hang on tight, okay? You're doing so well. Whoever this applies to, the only blockage you have left to, there's blockages will come and go, but the main blockage you have to release right now is yourself, your self-doubt, the lack of self-confidence, that some people will accept you or not. Okay, you have to let go of those perceptions, let go of those beliefs, and surrender to the divine, surrender to your true destiny. Be prepared. It doesn't mean you're going to, it doesn't mean you're physically going to, but psychologically, be prepared to lose anything or anyone. Okay? Shift your perception of what you think your destiny is. Shift your perception of outdated beliefs, of what you think you want. Okay? And love yourself. Love yourself the way you wish to be loved. And thank you for joining me in my creative space. My name is Naraya. Thank you.